G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. And look at this, wow, the sun's so high in the sky, it feels like it's almost noon. The game kicked off this morning at 7 AM. Final result, as it's all cicadas and people banging, and Rangers 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. What do I make of that game? Look, overall feeling, okay. Not really disturbed by it. It's a tough environment, tough atmosphere. Rangers fans doing their usual, flying flags like "Make Rangers Great Again." Yeah, that's what that lot are like. So really, I did want to thump them and give them something to cry about while they're in their toilet looking at their portraits of Prince Charles out of respect, you know. But it wasn't to be. Rangers the first half was weird, man. I mean, we were both making mistakes. I think overall Tottenham did look better, but then Rangers they were a bit like us. They sort of were good up until they were in our box, and then they were just giving the ball away all over the place, a bit like we were doing sometimes. But I think overall we looked better up front than Rangers did. Looked a bit more dynamic, a little bit more on it. But it was a cagey, weird old first half. Rangers eventually went 1-0 up. I don't know what happened in the goal because my stream buggered up. So it's like it never happened. Maybe that's why I'm not feeling as disturbed over this game as maybe some of you out there are. So that was always good. Didn't see that goal. But at midfield, I don't know, man. It was a bit like Swiss cheese in the first half. However, look, some players stood out. Like Fraser Foster again. Dug us out with some very fine saves, man. He's really flourishing. I'm making him sound like he's a teenager. No, he's doing a really good job as Fraser Foster. Archie Gray, I thought, had a really decent game. There's a couple of times where his passes were a little bit readable by the opposition, but there was far more good than there was bad out of Archie Gray. He's doing well. Dragashin, I thought, was great in defence. And in the second half, man, Udogie was starting to really give Rangers trouble. So good game by our defence and Porro on the other side. But Udogie was, I think Udogie's been a bit out of sorts recently. And in that second half, we started seeing him play well again. So I'm happy for that. That's a good sign. Timo Werner, Johnson was a bit. Son was playing in the middle where he doesn't usually play. He was a lot better than he was against Chelsea. In fact, their overall performance, I'd say it was kind of maybe a bit sort of on par with Chelsea, but that's taking into account the players we had on the pitch as well, and that we are buggered and knackered a bit more than we were for that game, perhaps. Son did look better though, but our substitutions were pretty good. Pretty early in the second half, Ange made some wholesale changes. I don't know quite how Maddison stayed on the pitch for the full game. I wasn't that impressed with him. But Bergwijn, man, he showed a lot of ticker out there tonight. Again, there was a couple of times a bit like Gray where he was a bit predictable with his knock-on balls. But again, just as with Gray, there was far more good than bad out of him. And there was some really, actually, very nice stuff from Bergwijn. He looked like the sort of player I'd like to, like a cross between Maddison and Sarr. You know, he's very creative and very quick. And also, maybe, dare I say it, showing a little bit of embryonic leadership chops. Because there was a bit where we were right near the death, and Maddison went down as an injury, and he started rolling around as he does, and Bergwijn was straight over him saying, "Get up," which he did. So well done to Bergwijn for that. Bentancur was all right in the first half. He came off in the second. But our goal was a nicely worked goal. Really nice interplay between Solanke and Kulu, and Kulu just slotted it away. And at that point, I could feel that goal coming, and I thought that if we got that goal, the floodgates might have opened. But we didn't kind of seize on that impetus, that opportunity. In fact, Rangers started coming back into the game. I thought they were gone. I thought they were done and dusted, knackered. But they started playing themselves back into it a little bit. So there's a few squeaky bum moments near the end of the game. Referee was absolutely appalling as usual. Bergvall got some mystery yellow card. I've watched it again. I really don't know what that was for, because he was running with the ball. Player gets in his way, and then suddenly it's a yellow card for Bergvall. It's just a complete mystery to me, that one. And as usual, when a referee doesn't like Tottenham Hotspur, they'll blow the whistle bang on the time. In this case, maybe it did us a favour, because Rangers were about to take a free kick for their last final shove of the game, and the referee didn't even let the free kick be taken, which I think that's weird, because like the ball's out of play, so you know the clock should be stopped. So anyway, he decided enough was enough. He wanted to, you know, get home early, so he stopped the game bang on time. So as usual, I've not even seen what Ange said about the game afterwards. I've not seen what any other Spurs people have said, and I'm quite enjoying not watching any of it at the moment, because I'm not getting sucked up into this, what I assume is this miasma of putrid decay out there, the sword of Damocles hanging over Ange after every game. I'm just taking each game as it comes, and it's kind of reminding me of how to be an old school football fan, because even I have been sucked into all the nonsense from time to time. But it was I'm finding it quite pleasant at the moment. It's like, okay, that was a game, would have been nice to have won. We didn't win, we got a draw. Okay, let's see what happens against Southampton, instead of heads on fire, all that sort of stuff. Now, as far as the Europa League competition goes, that still puts us in, I think, 11th place. It's quite squashed up at the top. And one would imagine that our final two games are winnable against Hoffenheim and Elfsborg. And I just looked at Rangers' remaining fixtures. I know they've got some team I've never heard of, but they're also playing away at Manchester United, which, I mean, is that an easy game or a hard game these days? I would have thought it'd be a tough game for Rangers, but it could be a draw, whereas we could get 6 points. So we're still looking good, you know. All we've got to do is finish in the top 8 in this league, and we skip the second chance repechagers, or whatever they're called. They're probably not even called repechager, are they? So it's all right. Look, it wasn't a fantastic performance, but it wasn't terrible, and we didn't crack. You know, we didn't get under the pump and then just lose it altogether. Much as we did a little bit against Chelsea, we worked our way back into the game and ultimately didn't get the win, but we didn't lose it either. So, hey, can't complain. If you want complaining, there's plenty of other places you can go out there where all the experts are assembling as we speak to find out what could have been done differently to win that game against Rangers, which is all a load of arse and Harry hindsight, because the game finished 1-1. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the next game now. Southampton, Monday morning, 6 a.m. Be there or be square for my watch along. If you like what I do, if you want to click like and subscribe, that's cool. But until next time, folks, peace and love, man. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs!